Guys, I'm pissed. We just recorded probably like 35 minutes of this. And for some reason, our camera's not recording, even though I hit record and I heard it turn on.
Also, there should be a red button saying that it's recording so that we know.
If someone wants to work for us for free to be the cameraman. Oh, sorry. Let me go to the top of my notes. Welcome to
Sisters and
round
brothers.
2 of our little podcast. I said before round 2 because Maggie screwed up. Welcome to Tea Time with the Twins. We are your hosts, Maggie and Anna. Cheers.
Yeah, so we're running on tea and Zins right now.
The tea that I am drinking today is raspberry leaf tea. It's really good for menstrual cycles.
Also good for fertility if you want to get started now on being healthy when you want future kids. And I'm drinking dandelion root, which helps to it helps with like liver stimulation and just overall gut health and digestion. Today's tea, real talk.
Anyways, so today's tea is, I'm just going to take it over from here. We're just going to give you a little intro on our lives, some fun facts, talk about why we started this podcast, a little reflection of this past year, what we learned, and then move into goals for 2024. So this podcast, this was something that we've talked about doing for a very long time.
Quite honestly. Probably 2 years. We did a lot of podcasts for group projects in college, and it was kind of fun. So I would say
it was always in the back of my mind.
Serious want to start a podcast. We've been thinking about it for probably 2 years.
Yeah. And so at the beginning of the year, we wrote it down as a goal that in 2023, we are going to start a podcast. So us being us, we decided to start December 31st. The last day of 2023.
With that being said, 2024, we're going to work on our procrastination.
We don't really have like a specific theme. It's just going to be a little bit of everything. We're going to be talking about...
Okay, we are going to focus mostly on fitness, health, specifically women's health. Maybe we'll throw in mindset. Maybe we'll throw in some baseball. We're big baseball gals. We quite literally get roasted that we only like baseball for baseball pants, but we actually really love the sport. I would say... And I've had a lot of people argue with me about this, but I think it's like one of the greatest sports ever.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about sports. We actually have a couple guest speakers that we want to bring on in the future.
So we're going to give a shout out real quick.
Sophia Warren.
She's
Follow
our
her on
friend.
Instagram.
She's a pro golfer. We work with her. Great gal pal. We'll probably have her come on and kind of talk about her golf life, her journey, her experience. And then we also want to have our friend who we worked with the Bradenton Marauders. His name's Ben Pocono. I don't know how to say his last name. I always say Pinocchio to make fun of him. I don't think he knows that though, but now he will. He did the broadcasting for the Marauders games, and he's a really good speaker, super into sports. So I told him that we would love to have him as a guest speaker. All right. So just so you guys kind of get to know us, some fun facts. I believe this is a true fact. When we were babies and firstborn, we had a test taken on us, and like to test our DNA and whatnot. And our test came out that we were 99.9% identical.
Like the same.
The same. That's what identical
you
means,
guys,
Maggie.
Comment down below if you guys think that we look 99% the same.
99.9.
Because some people don't think that we look like I don't think we do. Like we do.
Okay, actually though, when Sophia was over the other night, you were saying a story and I was just like staring at you. I was like, holy that's me.
We are not swearing in this podcast.
Sorry, we don't swear. But the reason that we're not 100% positive if that's true is because we also thought that we were super unique being twins, because
like in our family.
I swear my whole life, my mother told me that there were no twins on either side of the family. So anytime someone's like, "Am I not twins?" I was like, "Yeah, only twins in the family." I'm like super unique, like really special because there's no twins on either side of the family. So it's kind of like crazy that we are twins. And then last week when we were home for Christmas, my mom was like, yeah, there's twins on dad's side, there's twins on my side. And I was like, yeah.
So basically, we've been lying to everyone.
We're lying to everyone, and we're not as unique as we thought.
Even though we're literally touching right now, we cannot touch each other.
Yeah.
We are just super, like we don't hug. I'm sure, like, back in the day when we were little kids, like, I know for a fact my dad would force us to hug if we were, like, fighting, and that was his way of thinking that we forgave each other when, in reality, I was still pissed at you. But literally the only time in our adult years, from kids until adult life,
until current day,
the only time I remember hugging her was senior formal.
They played one song.
It was like senior year, so like I was freaking sobbing.
I think it was my requested song, #Long Live by Taylor Swift. We were like shwasting my ASD, and
I started like sobbing.
And and we hugged each other. It was weird. We're not like that.
One of us will go on a trip by ourselves, which is almost never. Like, we're just like, okay, bye. Like, I will not hug her. It won't happen.
Yeah.
You can't make me.
Another fun fact is, as can be seen by our little clinking earlier, we're big tea drinkers. Hence the name of this podcast. I used to never like tea, but then we started learning more about it, and there's lots of healthy benefits to it. And now I actually like the taste. If you had a little honey.
Raw honey.
Raw honey, yes. Grade A. So we're big tea drinkers. We quite honestly drink it almost every single night. It's a good way to like wind down when you're like winding down. You're trying to get ready for bed. It helps just like relax you. And it's really good.
Another fun fact is this past year we both completed 75 hard. We're going to talk about it later on in this podcast. If you do not know what it is, you should look it up right now, and you should do it. Another fun fact is, kind of mentioned this before, but we're big baseball gals.
Yeah.
We grew up watching baseball. We played softball, middle school and high school. So we learned to just really appreciate the sport for what it is.
Also, in college, we worked for the athletics department, filming and taking pictures of all the sports, and
Baseball was a favorite.
Baseball was a favorite. And now we work for the Pittsburgh Pirates minor league baseball team.
Bradenton Marauders.
We do
live video production.
We're the gals who walk around with a big camera. So if you're ever in town this spring training and this summer, come pay us a visit.
Fun fact number, I think,
4
or 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. We just got into golf this summer. We dabble here and there. We play like probably 1 to 2 times a week.
Yeah, I haven't played since like 2 weeks because we were out of town. But we work at a golf course, so we get free golf, which is really nice. And we never took advantage of it until this summer. And during the summer, it's kind of slow, and the courses are more open. We said to ourselves, we're like, let's let's play some golf. And the first couple of rounds were brutal. And we did a thing where we never warmed up at the range. God knows why. So the actual 9 holes that we played were horrible.
I didn't start like getting warmed up or good until like hole 9.
Because we're good now.
Yeah.
Now we go to the range sometimes
like after work for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and then sometimes we'll just warm up for a little bit at the range and then go play 9, and it's a lot better.
We actually just started playing 18 though, which I don't know why I've never done that before.
My first time playing 18, like this year, my body was so sore the next day. Like random muscles that I didn't even know existed in my body, I couldn't move. We do work with a lot of professional golfers, and some of them are friends. So we'll go out with them and play with them. And Sophia, Sophia, she's a pro golfer, and she's a very patient, loving coach / caddy or whatever you guys call him. And
not your caddy.
She when we were playing, she called herself my caddy. Oh, I don't know the golf terms yet. We're still learning.
Yeah. For example, handicap. Still don't know what that means. I don't care how many times you explain it to me. I'm not going to understand it.
She's been very patient with us, teaching us little tips and tricks.
Same with her brother.
Shout out to Oliver. Also, shout out to Trainer Mike.
And also Jack. You're welcome. Jack.
You guys all get shout out. Everyone's getting shout out today. And Jordan. I will have to say, me and Jordan played against Maggie and Jack, And Jordan was a great partner, and he was very patient with the teaching and very supportive. So thanks. This is the final fact. Like we mentioned before, we have slight podcast experience. It wasn't as legit as this, though. Hey. But we did some class projects in college with podcasts for all of our communication.
We need to keep the mic.
Classes. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm kissing it. But also something that we did, we still have it. It is a very, very VIP Finsta. If you find it, I applaud you, but you will never be able to follow it. Almost every single Sunday, we would post Sunday morning vlogs, and it essentially was just like a recap of the week, specifically the weekend. And you know how we were in our college days, a little rowdy.
We've changed.
We
don't drink anymore.
Yes.
Like on special occasions, yes, but like
Usually we don't drink.
AKA we're better than everyone else. I'm kidding.
No, we'll probably have a podcast talking about drinking and the negative effects of it and why we personally choose not to indulge in that. We would post these Sunday morning vlogs with our cup of coffee every Sunday morning, and we received a ton of positive feedback about it.
And on we literally have on the days that we didn't post content because we just like forgot or something, the fans were screaming for more.
AKA Abby, Josh, and Sam. Shout out to you
and
guys.
Kevin.
They're literally all family. But you guys are the biggest supporters in those little vlogs. So it really meant a lot to us. With that being said, we wanted to make it into something more serious and actually talk about things that matter. Getting into the 2023 reflection.
Something that I started doing several years ago was I would take some time by myself and write a letter to myself, to my future self, talking about the past year, like things I learned. Did I accomplish certain goals I set for myself? And just really reflect on those. And then I would kind of transition into the new year ahead of me. I always did this on January 1st, obviously. I'd write down goals that I wanted to achieve, and I just write a list. I wouldn't go overboard because I didn't want to be unrealistic, but I wrote down some things that I knew were achievable, but also a lot of them were out of my comfort zone. And then I would wrap it up, and I would have specific words that would be my words of the year. And like, I think for the first year, it was like, shoot.
Clearly they didn't mean a lot.
Clearly,
I can't remember.
This was like 3 years ago. Discipline, breakthrough, connection, stuff like that. And then when I would read that at the end of the year, I normally would read it the following January 1st, but this year we actually read them today on the 31st.
Because they fell in line with this podcast, and
yeah.
We knew we were going to talk about it. So
yeah. So
necessary.
I would kind of just like replay the year in my head and be like, okay, this is where I like really disciplined myself. This is really where I was like, I had great connections with people or nature or God, just stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really good way to hold yourself accountable.
For example, in this past year, I wrote my letter that I wanted to get an apartment of my own and move out, buy a second car, start a podcast,
travel. We went to
go
Europe.
on some dates, travel, and literally did all of those. Start a podcast. Didn't I say that?
I don't know.
Well, we did it.
Obviously, and it's like, okay, one thing we didn't do, we both wrote down to write a half marathon. That's a story that we're going to tell later on, though.
Yeah. We didn't do it, if you can't tell.
We didn't do it.
Anyways, we read them this morning, and I also always write a letter to myself 6 months in. When I read mine, it's shorter than my beginning of the year letter, but when I read mine this morning, I literally started tearing up because to get deep, it's amazing to see the way that God works through your life when you don't even know it. Like, maybe you're not really paying attention to like life as you're living it, but it's like word for word everything that I wrote down. Word for word everything that I wrote down this year, I have accomplished before I even knew I was going to do it or had any interest. I just wrote it down, and it's all happening.
That is manifestation.
It's all working in God's timing.
So during this year, we've been into fitness for like a very long time, but we like really truly got into it this year, specifically women's health, because it's not really.
Well, I'm gonna interrupt you right there.
Okay.
We really got into it after we graduated, but health-wise, we were doing it wrong. That you may proceed.
Okay. That's what I just said, but it's fine. So at the beginning of this year is a little crazy. We kind of dealt with this situation that brought on a lot of stress and anxiety, so much so that our hormones went crazy. Our cortisol levels were spiked out of wazoo, like having health problems, like
breaking out
stress hives. I got stress hives like several times. Didn't even know what that was.
Got them. We thought she was dying.
Yeah, I really thought I was dying. Like gaining weight.
Like,
pissed.
I know that's not shocking, but we didn't change anything in our diet or our workout, but it was just like, so we were doing the same.
I'm like, hey,
same nutrition, same exercising, and we're just like blowing up. And also,
oh my goodness.
Also, our faces, I'm trying to heal it. I still have my flaws, but
still recovering.
Our faces blew up.
You can't look at me but not talk on the microphone.
Our faces blew up in cystic acne and insane inflammation.
Like to the point where like, especially this side, my face was just like
it looked like a tumor.
Swelling. It literally looked like a tumor. I was like, frick.
So
very humbling.
We looked in the mirror and we're like, this isn't normal. So we took a little journey through women's health and basically
how to heal ourselves naturally and finding the root cause, not getting temporary fixes.
Because that was one big thing that we said this year. Specific people were like, go to a dermatologist, get
go
a
on
pill,
birth control, go on
birth.
Accutane.
I was
I'm
like, no. There are so many negative effects to those pills. As a Catholic, like, birth control is a contraceptive, and that's against our faith. So that was something that I didn't want to go on. And so, yes, I would say that the natural process of healing yourself, or like healing your acne at least, takes so long. Like, this started February, and like I still have some leftovers that I don't want. So it's been almost a year. So it takes a long time, but it was a hell of a ride.
Honestly, I'd rather it take longer and be healthier.
Yes. Because yes, having clear skin is fun, but also when you're dealing with internal problems on the side because of what you're taking,
there's going to be long-term effects.
Yes.
That are going to come back. So like in that time of kind of just like healing our hormones and stuff, we learned how important it was to get rest and live in a very stress-free, slowed down Zen Den life. We
call our apartment the Zen Den.
That's what we're talking about.
That's the 99.9% of identicalism that we are.
So like, for example, at the beginning of this year, we were both
kills a fly.
We were both working 4 jobs at the same time. So obviously we're stressed out, have no time to breathe. So we kind of just made that decision. We're like, okay, this is unhealthy. This is not normal.
It's also not normal to have 4 jobs, but here we are.
Yeah.
Trying to make ends meet.
So we cut back on all those working hours. And one of the Bible verses that really brought me through this year is, be still and know that I'm God. I have a little bit of it tattooed on my wrist as a reminder.
Don't tell Mom.
No, my mom's seen it twice and like forgets every single time and then freaks out.
She's
the next
like,
time I see her. I'm like,
is that real?
It's like,
yes, Mom.
A lot of this year was just kind of entering our divine feminine of living a more simple life, a more peaceful life.
We're going for like a Proverbs 31 vibe.
Yeah. But it's like a strong working woman who
uses her hands to create.
Also like sets boundaries. So like if I don't want to go out at 9 p.m., I say no because I don't want to go out. That's my bedtime.
We go to bed at 9:30 p.m.
Sometimes 10 if we're like crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like in this process of 2023, Anna can talk more about it, but like we realized
that every season you go through, you grow through. Not what I was going to say, but sure. Basically, when you are put into a season, it's God putting you through that season. There's like a biblical...
There's biblical backup, but we don't know where it is. I saw it on an Instagram reel.
But there's biblical backup that each season consists... Each season consists of 4 months. And over halfway through the year, we realized that I was super accurate with our past year of 2023. The first 4 months were like the season of hell.
It was a dark time. Let's just say that.
Season of challenges. And then immediately after that, we went to Europe and totally winded down. And for 4 months, it was like, I didn't work out all of May and barely any of June. I started getting back into working out in June. But
it's also like, it's so humbling getting back in the gym after 2 months of not working out.
Yeah, because like you feel, you just feel gross and you know you literally lost any ounce of muscle that you've ever worked towards.
And so you're not like the gym baddie boop who runs the joint. You're the one like that doesn't run the joint.
Baggy pants, oversized shirts, hiding in your clothes because you don't have any
muscle to
show off. So like the 4 months after Europe, we're all just about like listening to our body, healing, experimenting with our body and like with natural like supplements,
just like natural remedies, seeing what works for our body and
whatnot, and just like lots and lots of rest. And near the 4 month mark of that season of isolation and hashtag going ghost, shout out Sam and Kevin, it's time to come back into public.
It's time to show our faces again.
But we need to like do a big challenge. Something that we've always wanted to try was the 75 hard challenge. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a mental toughness challenge created by Andy Frisella. What it consists of is for 75 days, 2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outdoors. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to read 10 pages a day, and they cannot be fictional books, so like self-help books. You have to take a progress photo every day, and you have to follow a specific meal plan. It can be whatever you decide you want it to be, so whatever works for you. And then you cannot drink, you can't have any cheat meals, and you cannot drink any alcohol. If you mess up or go like skip any part of those rules once, no matter how far you're in, immediately you have to start from day one again. Maggie and I failed it the first time we tried it. We started at the beginning of September, and we were 5 days in, and we flew home for a wedding, and everyone was drinking. We got jealous. So we're like, bro, let's just have a drink. We'll start over. And we're like, the first 5 days were practice. And so we drank, and honestly, it wasn't worth it because I had 2 drinks and I didn't even get a buzz. And I was like, The next day we started up again. The wedding was fun. So shout out to Jenna and Matt. Love you guys.
After that, at first I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to drink. Okay, there's literally no point in drinking. It's like not even something to get excited about anymore. Like obviously,
I took my first sip and I was like, okay, and
don't get me wrong, I love my little bourbon and lemonade. I love my little glass of dry red wine. There's just, I don't see the point anymore. Obviously, for like special occasions, like a wedding or something, I'll drink. I don't know. I don't find the enjoyment in it.
Yeah,
anymore.
There's no like fulfillment in it anymore. There's a lot of negative effects about it. Let's just say we'll have a podcast with Samuel Whetstone, our cousin and BFF, because he's in this phase of life too. So we can talk about like alcohol and stuff like that with him.
Honestly, starting this podcast was like something, I don't know about you, but I like prayed about. So I was like, is this something I should be doing? Because I also don't want it to be like, oh, I'm doing this for me. And I don't want it to be like a selfish thing. So I kind of was just, just talking with God, chatting. And I truly felt like he was telling me to like start this or just like share what we have learned in regards to like health and fitness, but also
we did have some weird experiences. There were a couple times in the gym and then in like the grocery store or something, people were like, wow, are you guys twins? like no, but we'd be like in the gym and random people who we've never seen before would come up to us like, wow, you guys twins? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, you guys could do something really cool with like fitness and the fact that you're twins because that's super unique. You guys should like really create content and do something about that. And we're like, wow, is that a sign? And then like in the grocery store, random people are like, wow, you guys, whatever. Same thing. Oh, like that's interesting. Interesting.
So honestly, our goal in 2024 is to be Gymshark athletes.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear this,
I'm sponsoring you right now and you don't even know.
I was going to too, but I didn't want to like match you. So basically with this new year coming up hot in a couple hours, we want to basically just like ring in the new year with everything that we've learned, the habits that we've created, some of the things that we especially want to develop within this podcast is creating a community of
like-minded individuals,
well-rounded individuals who share the same beliefs as us, who enjoy the same things as us. Just have like a place where we can support one another and encourage one another. We kind of mentioned this earlier, but we also would love to have guest speakers on here. I don't know how we're all going to fit on this couch. This is a temporary setup, by the way.
This is a temporary setup. So donate to our cause.
Yeah, donate to our cause.
I don't know how but you can do that.
I just know that you can like donate on Spotify for sure and probably YouTube. I don't know how to set that up. I've never done that before.
But we're gonna figure it out. If you want to see the expansion of the Tea Time with the Twins, you should donate so we can
do that and make this podcast better for everyone involved.
Like imagine if we had a round table with like 5 different speakers,
but like tripod things.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because then we can have like
debates.
No, we can have like a big group, like a couple people.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But yeah, so we're gonna wrap things up here. This was fun.
I had so much fun.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Pilarski Twins. We just reached 100 followers on Instagram. Okay. TikTok, I think we have 3 or 4 followers, so that's a slay, honestly.
We made our TikTok like 2 days ago.
I've always been very against TikTok for reasons.
Just reasons. We're just gonna use it to our advantage.
Just to kind of like bring in the troops,
because you can get a lot of organic views and organic feedback through that and also through LinkedIn. So
yeah,
we're going to use those platforms the best of our ability.
So with that being said, thank you for joining Tea Time with the Twins. I got to go because I have a meeting and we are going to poker tonight. I'll win money to donate to the cause.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
See you next time.
Have a wonderful 2024.
Bye.
Bye.